This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of Monday, June 30th, 2025. I'm Alex Brown. Jim Schellinger, CEO of Indy Economic Development and former Indiana Secretary of Commerce, says with the international attention that Indianapolis has received from the Pacers competing in the NBA Finals, the city needs to do what it can to capitalize on that.
I want to work really hard, as I did when I was secretary, to reach out internationally all over the world to bring headquarters here. We want to take care of Indiana first and take care of Indianapolis, take care of Marion County, but there's no reason why we can't attract these headquarters.
One way to accomplish that goal, he said, is to add more international nonstop flights. A former Indiana Superintendent of the Year has been named the next executive director of the Indiana Association of Public School Superintendents. Jeffrey Butts, currently the superintendent of the Metropolitan School District of Wayne Township in Indianapolis, will begin his new role January 5th. Indianapolis is among several U.S. cities where parties have expressed interest in launching an expansion team in the National Hockey League. According to the Daily Face-Off, the league informed its Board of Governors at its annual meeting last week that there were prospects for NHL expansion teams in Indianapolis, Atlanta, Houston, and New Orleans. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
To succeed, you need to stay informed. You need to be engaged. And let's face it, you need to set yourself apart from the rest by connecting with a company that brings you the best. Because in today's environment, business is an ever-moving target, and we'll help you chase it. IBJ Media. The best of business is in us. Get started at ibjmedia.com/youngprofessional.
Indianapolis Public Schools has a new district-wide AI policy aimed at improving educators' efficiency and addressing concerns about privacy and security. IIB's Marek Mazurek has more.
The school board unanimously approved the policy last week, and it applies only to teachers and staff and does not include guidance on student use of artificial intelligence technology. It lays out acceptable uses of AI, which include generating quiz questions or practice materials under teaching supervision, enhancing instructional materials, and drafting communications, but restricts users to district-approved AI tools. The adoption of the policy follows the first phase of a pilot program in which 20 staff members used a district-approved AI tool throughout the year. The second phase of the pilot will be broader, but still only include teachers and staff. IPS Chief Systems Officer Ashley Cowger said the list of acceptable uses was developed using results from the pilot program, which found that AI could help staff save time on complex administrative tasks. Some people in the district are already using free generative AI tools on their own, and Cowger warned that this could compromise student data, including special education plans. Staff will have to sign responsible use agreements, which include guidelines like disallowing loading a student's full individualized education program into a generative AI tool. The new policy also calls for the creation of an AI advisory board to monitor trends in district AI use and continue to develop best practices. I'm Marek Mazurek for Inside Indiana Business Radio.
A group of Pittsboro residents who oppose a planned data center campus in their Hendricks County town has filed a lawsuit in an attempt to halt the project. The dispute concerns plans by Denver-based Vantage Data Centers to develop a data center campus on about 285 acres of land owned by Charles D. Smith Family Farm, Inc. and located in the northeast corner of Pittsboro. Pittsboro officials annexed the property into the town late last year, and a rezoning request was approved in March. In a lawsuit filed in April in Hendricks County, the plaintiffs allege that Pittsboro officials violated Indiana law by failing to provide sufficient notice of the annexation or the rezoning request. For the second time in about a month, Indianapolis is preparing for one of basketball's biggest spotlights when Gainbridge Fieldhouse hosts the WNBA All-Star Game. Pacer Sports and Entertainment CEO Mel Raines says no other city can do it better.
Our goal when we announced we were going to host this was to redefine how the WNBA looks at their All-Star weekend, and I think we're going to do nothing less than that. We're going to activate downtown as we always do. The Circle, the middle block of Georgia Street, and Morris Bicentennial Plaza will be active. Being able to include our entire community in the event was important to us, and then rolling out the orange carpet, as they say at the WNBA, for the best female basketball players in the world, and we're going to do no less than that.
Visitors traveling out of or flying into Indianapolis International Airport are already being greeted by a basketball court in Civic Plaza. The court, 50 feet wide by 94 feet long, shares design elements with the hardwood court that will be used July 19th at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Holiday World owners Leah Cook Blumhart and Lauren Cook Crosby are this week's guests on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.